Welcome back to Ame's Bookshelf Interviews. I'm Teresa Garcia, or Amehana Arashi, and today I am doing an interview for you of children's author Mrs Baumgartner, and I truly hope that I pronounced it correctly. She is an author, a poet, and an editor. With THG StarDragon, she has written the book My Family is Different, which looks at different religions to give young children their first introduction. And it is one that I was very happy to be associated in publishing because there are so many interfaith families and so many families that are not mainstream Christian. Since then, she now has 2 children's books, The Golden Rule and My Family is Different, one science fiction series embracing entropy, which is currently out of print and being revamped, and numerous short stories, one of which was featured in the Chicken Soup for the Soul book, Inspiration for Teachers. She also does freelance editing work and assists the editor of Me First magazine. I asked her what got her interested in writing, illustrating, editing, and so forth. And she says, "I love stories. Ever since I was little, I was making up my own worlds and getting people to laugh at true tales of my silliness." What company or companies are you doing work for or with? I do a lot of freelance work, but my involvement with Me First magazine has been incredibly rewarding, and my technical writing keeps the bills paid. What projects are you currently working on? I'm always juggling different manuscripts. I've been working on a nonfiction piece about when I moved to LA to be a singer for a while now. But I also have a new middle grade children's book I'm diving into, and a mad scientist story involving a veterinarian. Do you have any future projects in mind to take on? Every day I have to fight with new ideas and see which ones stick around for future endeavors. I'm constantly scribbling down new ideas to plot and researching nonfiction topics that matter most to me. Jessica, what is your favorite project? That's like asking which of my children I love most. I can't choose between them. I can say that one of my newest unpublished short stories, Forgotten Voyage, was such a big part of me that I'm hoping it finds a home soon. It's a classic hero story with a dark twist that poured out and reads real smooth. Is this career something that you always wanted to do? Not at all. Not at all. When I was really young, I wanted to be a dinosaur. When I realized that probably wasn't an option, one can still dream, I switched from veterinarian to singer to sculptor to you name it. And I worked in a lot of fields I dreamed of. I was a veterinary assistant, a travel agent, a clothing store manager, a receptionist, and so on. All that experience piled up and pointed me in my true direction, writing. Don't get me wrong, I always loved writing and telling stories. I just didn't think it would be a viable career. That was reserved for old cranky drunk men, or so stereotypes suggested. I'm glad that I was wrong. Do you find it difficult or find some aspects more difficult than others? Yes. I have sent out over 100 submissions already this year with only a few acceptances. That's the life of a writer. The more lucrative the market, the more heartache you get, but I'm fully committed. It takes a lot of spark to keep burning through the publishing industry. What is a normal day like for you? Is this your side job or your main job? My weekdays are very structured. I get up early, spend time with my kids getting them ready for the day, exercising together and having breakfast. Then my husband takes over, and I go to the office to write until my lunch break. I usually record ideas, poems, or blogs on my phone as I drive to the park to play with the kids at lunchtime. Then I come back to the office, write some more, and head home to cart the little ones to practices and rehearsals and somehow squeak dinner, reading, and outside time in there. Once they go to bed, I make time for the hubsy, but then I do some writing, outlining, or brainstorming. The weekends are the opposite, less structure, more adventure. We go hiking, swimming, camping, hit up local events, or bombard family, play music, dance, or run around having as much fun as we can. I also sneak in writing when everyone's asleep on the weekends. How do you manage balancing this with family and any other work you may have? Very carefully, ha ha! What hobbies do you have? I love to play guitar, sing, dance, swim, hike, garden, play with animals, pretend I can draw, and try new things. If you could be anything in the world besides this, what would it be? A mermaid, or a dinosaur, a murdino. I like murdino. Yes, murdino would be awesome. Do you feel that school helped set you up toward following this path in the publishing industry? Yes and no. In school we read some pretty standard books. Some were great, but a lot of them bored me. I hated Lord of the Flies and Romeo and Juliet. They didn't say anything to me about myself or the world I knew. But I spent a lot of time in the library just closing my eyes and running my fingers over rows of books until I stopped on one. I loved that game. I would read the back, and if I liked it, I would check it out. I also had a couple of teachers who really encouraged my love of writing and reading. One suggested I become a writer, and I laughed at the idea. How silly of me. If you could go back to school, is there anything you wish you had paid more attention to? Math. It's the language of numbers. I'm dyslexic, so numbers and letters like to play tricks on me. I struggled with it pretty bad until I had a great math teacher in college. He really taught me how to train my brain and get to know numbers. What advice do you have for the next generation? That's a hefty order. I guess it would be read old books. Classic English literature always revives my faith in humanity because 50, 100, 200, even 1,000 years ago, people were complaining of the same things. Crooked politicians, the state of the education system, the future of the world, and financial woes. No matter how bad things seem, we'll be okay. What advice do you have for your age peers that may also want to take part in the publishing industry, and specifically your area within it? Do the work. No one is ever a perfect writer. Keep learning. Go to workshops, find a mentor, surround yourself with writers, agents, and publishers. Listen to them, and let your work grow. Be realistic about your goals and work hard. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that we didn't discuss? Everyone is a writer nowadays, but fewer people are reading. If you really care about literature and word art, support more authors. And there you have it. That was my interview with Jessica Baumgartner, author of My Family is Different and several other books, and short stories, and a lot of technical writing. Please, go look her up, find her stuff. And if you would like to be interviewed on this channel and for the podcast, and you're involved in some aspect of publishing, whether it be books or gaming, or as an illustrator, what have you, please write to me at LadyRainStarDragon@hotmail.com or THG StarDragon Publishing@gmail.com. And there are those that I have not gotten around to sending interview questionnaires to that I would like to have on this program. These are all recorded first come, first serve, as I get a chance to do them. You can also send me short things, short flash fictions for the Flash Fiction Fridays at the same addresses. Until next time, I'm Teresa Garcia, or Amehana Arashi, and this has been Ame's Bookshelf Interviews. Happy reading.